Have a pretty special episode today. Um, cool thing about creating and designing is you can really work in multiple mediums. And besides just photography and print, I also like to make garments. And we're going to go through some of them today. I usually print one offs. Here are all the garments. We're going to look through them today. I usually print one offs, but sometimes I double up and I make a few extras. But it's usually one off prints, and I like to leave them places. I like to leave them in public, in phone booths, and train stations, around cities. I hang them on carts, I hang them on cars, I hang them on buses, I hang them on trains. They're rarely for sale. They're very special to me. A lot of my photo work goes into a lot of these designs. And I just think it's a really great way of staying unique, exclusive. And slowly but surely, I'm opening up my store to allow sales for some of these pieces. But since they are one of ones, or two of twos, or three of threes, they are not mass produced. And it just takes very special people to feel the project, feel what I'm doing, enjoy the designs, understand the history. And that's what brings me here today to the XL Blankk catalog. Now, I believe this was made in 2020, and it is a catalog of many of the designs that have gone to print. And a lot of them have been given away or traded or sent to different artists or musicians or business people around the world for collaboration purposes or modeling purposes, or just because I thought they were an interesting figure in society. And that's how it goes. We just share. Now, this catalog has a lot of the older original designs. We're going to go through it. And what I did with this catalog is I packaged it up and I sent it to clothing stores around the world, clothing stores in Mexico City, in Tokyo, in New York, in London. I believe I sent a few to Latin America, down south, South America, a few other places in Europe, probably Berlin. And I just sent them a catalog of our work. Now, again, my aesthetic is quite eclectic in its format. It's a lot of pop culture references, underground culture references, alternative media. So it's not like people jump right at the opportunity to work with me or create a line, but the fact that it's out there, that's what matters to me. And that's what I think is really important, is just being out there, just existing. So just the fact that this magazine has made it to stores around the world is good enough for me. Envelope taped up, stamped, and out there for whoever wants to reach out. So let's go through it. This is XL Blankk catalog for distribution purposes only, and this is exactly what I did. This is a cover. I found a interesting torn advertisement on a mailbox in Montreal, I believe. This is a artist. I think she had a um, concert coming up, and you could see one of my classic red squares across the face. You'll see something in this magazine later on. This catalog has a bunch of original images, a bunch of original images thrown through filters, a bunch of cheats, meaning photos of other people's work skewed in a different way, or straight screenshots from some of my favorite films, which you'll see, or celebrities. And rarely do I cheat that hard, but sometimes I just have to keep the history and keep these moments alive, because some of the content that has come out in the past couple of years is just too good to forget about. So here we go. XL Blankk catalog for distribution purposes only. Usually a print 1/1. Usually printed in size large men, just because it's great for women to wear baggy or men to wear tight or baggy, or however. It's just an easy print. There's no skews, there's no multiple sizes. It's a one print, one size, and it's more about the art. I'm using the I'm using the garment as a canvas, as if you would see in an art gallery. It's not just about mass production, it's about this one piece. So let's get started. So open it. Here you go, the logo. You have XL Blankk. This is the clothing line name. You'll see it all over the garments. Our logo on the inside cover. And here we go, the intro. So every year, parent company Sokola Inc. releases a select collection of print on garment works. Titled XL Blankk, the series embodies a journalistic snapshot of modern-day society and popular culture filtered through the lens of Sokola Inc. aesthetic. Many of the originals have been left in public spaces or sent to international destinations as part of a collaborative effort. Pieces are of limited quantity and by special order only. The entire history of the XL Blankk collection can be seen at www.sokola.com. Contact drink@sokola.com. And of course, you have the Juba copy because these have all gone out around the world, and I always have to keep one for me. So, here we go, we have Red Square. Now, I created a series called the Red Square series, and essentially it's a bunch of photography, and I took a digital red line bar across people's faces. This was taken in Moscow, Russia, with a group of models that had come together to put on a bunch of my clothes called the XL Blackk collection. You can see that on the website if you go look at it. XL Blackk, B-L-A-C-K, not blank, black. And I took this photo, I skewed it with the bar, which is a separate series called the Red Square series, and it's about anonymity and censorship, and I won't get too deep into that, but this is how the shirt came out. I still have this one. Here is the design itself, printed out. So as you can see, it's the same design as in the magazine, and then you have the nice logo titled here, XL Blankk, Sokola Inc., and the XL Blankk in Japanese. I like the Japanese characters. I've been using this across a couple of my designs. And there you have the full garment, front page, first page of the catalog. So I'll put that aside. This photo here is just roses in a vase. I can't remember where it was, but I printed it on white because of the color of the roses, the red roses and the leaves, wilting over the vase. I just thought aesthetically it looked nice. I'm not sure where this shirt went. I don't have it in my repertoire or my reserves. So that means it's floating out there somewhere in the world. And my entire life's wish is to be walking through a street, through a city somewhere, and seeing somebody else that I don't know wearing one of my clothes, whether they got it secondhand or they picked it up at the store that resold it when I sent it to them. Who knows? It was gifted. They found it. It doesn't matter. That's one of my gifts, one of my all true desires with this work, and maybe one day it'll come true and we'll be able to have a video about it. This Streetwalker DE, so DE standing for Deutschland. I lived in Berlin for a little bit, about 8 to 10 months, back in 2014 or 13, maybe even 12. And I was at a hostel on a balcony where my good friend and collaborative partner works. His name is Mike Bufano. He's from New York. He's a DJ. He's a producer. He was working at this hostel. I was standing, and this woman happened to walk across the street with this absolutely shining yellow miniskirt dress with the biggest high heels you've ever seen. And what's so great about Berlin is there's so much graffiti in the background. And I took this photo, I skewed it, I stuck it on a shirt, and I actually gave this to a model in Ukraine by the name of Anaki, Annake is what she goes by on Instagram, and we did a great photo shoot with it. She's appeared in a few other of my publications since then, and yeah, really great shirt, one of my favorites. I believe I've reprinted this once only, and this is gone. I don't have it anymore, but one of my favorites. Fashion New York City. So one of the great things about New York is there is layers of posters, art, stickers, pictures, glue, spray paint. It's just artwork everywhere, but it's years of history of people going out and expressing themselves on walls, on train stations, on bridges. And I believe this, if I'm not mistaken, was somewhere near the Williamsburg Bridge. It was a cross between a poster for an event plus a few stickers, and it's been ripped at the bottom, and somebody's tag is here, and somebody drew on it and stamped it, and somebody else came and pasted something else, and it's this two women in fetish masks making out, and I'm like, this is incredible. Snapped a photo, stuck it on a shirt. I never really found out where this came from, who it came from. I'm not sure where the shirt is either. I don't remember where I put it. I don't remember who I sent it to. But this was one of my favorites. What a powerful, great image. And shout out to whoever created this. It's just great. One Night in Paris. One Night in Paris, the title. So if you're, a millennial like I am, you will remember a time where celebrity sex tapes were a big thing. And you had Paris Hilton, you had Kim Kardashian, you had Pamela Anderson, all coming out with these sex tapes for publicity, whether they were leaked or they were done on purpose, we'll never really know. But I feel that's fair game. Like if you're gonna just leak a sex tape, or you're the leaker of a sex tape, and you're putting your stuff online and you're making a cover of it, I'm gonna take that cover and I'm going to print it, and I'm just gonna put it on a T-shirt. And this T-shirt went to Toronto, to somebody I collaborated with on a project a while ago. He has the shirt now, and he says he wears it everywhere, and people will comment on it. One thing about my clothing is people do comment on it when they wear it. That's what feedback I've had a lot, and now you know why, because you're walking around with a Paris Hilton sex tape T-shirt at some sort of function, hopefully a wedding, and that's just the way it goes. Air shot. So in Belgium, Brussels, there is a red light district, and this red light district is by a bridge. It's very small. It's not large like Amsterdam, but it's just an interesting street, and it's pretty greasy, as red lights would be. But this is especially greasy because Belgium isn't really known for, or at least Brussels isn't very known for a red light district. But I took this off Google Maps. There's just a guy looking at one of the models in the window, the escorts in the window, and I've made quite a few things out of this. I've made posters out of it. I've made a shirt out of it, and it's just one of those seedy underbellies of culture that I sometimes visit because of the lighting, because of the fashion, because of the obviously risque type of industry it is, and it's legal, right? So why not explore a little bit of it? It still makes its way into modern society today, more often than we think. That's for sure. Dead Girl. So quite a while ago, I had contracted somebody to create for me some designs from sketches I'd made. And what was really cool was I found a whole bunch of images, and then I traced those images. So I would trace it by hand through a sheet of paper or through acetate film plastic sheet. I think that's what it's called. And then I would take those photos and I would change things about them slowly so I could come up with a blueprint. And then I gave this blueprint to an artist, and this was one of the pieces he gave back to me, which is just like a kind of Japanese anime with her eyes bleeding out, with the pupils all white, and then the hand, he actually made the bloody hand. I didn't even ask for that, and I just thought it turned out really well. It's really ominous. It's really kind of frightening and scary and horror-esque. I've put this on a baseball cap, and then I have the shirt. Where the shirt is, I'm not sure again, but one of my favorite prints. KP Kiev. So this is Christina in Kiev. She's a wonderful model. She's got such a great stance and an attitude and a look about her. Um, I went to Kiev years before this conflict happened, and I met some incredibly wonderful people, models, art directors, photographers, and I showed up with this bag of clothes, the XL Blankk collection, and I stepped into a room with an art director and his photographer friend and said, "Here's a bag of clothes, let's work." And he had come with about 4 to 5 different models who he'd known through his career. And these clothes, again, were pretty much made men's size. And the women in this group took these clothes and they wore them upside down. They wore them inside out. They wore them half on, half off. They hiked them up. They held them low. They stood with such a presence and such an amazing attitude about it. It was really an experience for me, and they're all still pursuing their careers in some shape or form, and they've gone through such a hardship with the recent, you know, issue with the war. But I can remember this. This was on the balcony of an Airbnb. That's where we took the first photo shoot, and I love this photo. She's standing there with a crop top and these great track pants that I had made with a strip of my logo down the side. You can't see it, but if you go on the site, you'll be able to see it. And it had just snowed, and you can see the city in the background. Incredible photo. Really, really great. Table dancing, Glint UK, not available for reprint. So I have retired this shirt. I've retired this photo. It went to 24 Hour Store in Kiev, which is a nightclub that has a clothing store in it. And this picture was taken outside of this really famous, I guess, adult supper club in London, and I just caught these two walking forward, and I think this man had spotted me. He was not very happy about it, and I don't know if this guy was putting his head away or he was just walking through the road, but this sign is in red, bright red, and I just thought they were really interestingly poised and dressed, and I waited for somebody to take a picture right in front of the sign, and I got it, snapped it full flash, and then took this shirt and sent it to this nightclub in Kiev. And I don't know if it's there, if it's sold, if it's on the rack, if someone took it home, but that's where it went, and one of my favorites right here. Sugar. Now, sugar is a cheat. Sugar is a screenshot from the movie Next Friday. And if you know this movie well, I doubt you'd even know where the scene came from. Very rarely do people figure it out. But at one point, the son of Uncle Elroy walks into his bedroom, and on the bedroom there's a projector, and the projector is playing a video of his mistress whose name is Sugar, and she's just in this red latex outfit with this red wig on and crazy makeup, and her bust is just popping out of this shirt, and she's dancing in this projector in this dark room. And I think it's incredible that they were able to put this side scene in already such an incredible movie. And here's the print. This is Sugar. So this is where it comes out. XL Blankk. I kept this one. It's by far one of my favorite pieces. It's hard to let go. Maybe one day it'll get on the market, or maybe it won't. I would love to send it to her. She also played an escort in Curb Your Enthusiasm, the episode where Larry David goes to the ballpark. And I would love to gift this because it's just so great. But until that day, it sticks on my shelf because it's one of my favorites of all time. Sugar. Sheen. There's not much explanation here. This is Charlie Sheen in an interview smoking a cigarette, probably at his peak crazy, when he's talking about Tiger Blood. He's talking about all the types of intoxicants that he was taking, and it's a great interview. And I just wanted to keep this moment in time, put it on a shirt. The sheen has gone out. I can't remember where it's gone to, but it's somewhere out there. And I know it was a tough one to give away because it's so great. But whoever has it, if you have this, remind me that you still have it if you're watching this video. Spears. Britney Spears shaved her head. She went through some shit. She got harassed in a parking lot. She picked up an umbrella and she smashed a car window. And I thought that was badass. And I wanted to keep that moment. And I'm not sure who took this photo, but they're completely invading her personal space. I'm glad that photo came out because it's great. I think this went to Stewie Pedar, who is a skateboarder. And the last time I saw Stewie, he was getting featured on World Star Hip Hop, and that's probably the largest channel that my line or any of my work has ever been featured on. And it's Stewie ollieing a trash can, and Wu-Tang is playing in the back, and it's in white. So there was a black version and there's a white version. I have no idea where the original went, but I know Stewie has the white one, and it's a great clip. And I'm just glad I was able to remember this moment in time. And I really wish that when she shaved her head, she just said fuck it and started a punk band. That was my big wish for that. Maybe she still does. Lisa versus XL Blankk. So I work on and off with this incredible artist from Brazil. Her name is Lei. She used to go by Lisa, and she just takes the most incredible photos. It's got crazy style all the time. She's in a different outfit every single day, hustling, just making videos, making music videos. And she's a lyricist, a vocalist, a rapper, a fashion girl, and she allowed me to use her photos. And I created an entire series called Lisa versus XL Blankk, and I think we made about 6 of them. I made a copy for myself. I gave her a copy of all of the shirts. One went to Brazil, the other went to Italy to meet a publicist by the name of Domenico Diococo. I think I got that right. And it's not a publicist, sorry, a stylist in Italy by the name of Domenico Diococo. And he took these clothes and he styled some of the models. They've also gone to a magazine called Switch Magazine in Italy as well, and they take these garments sometimes and dress up their models for photo shoots. They have creator calls all the time to do these types of collaborations, and they've used my stuff in a few of their photo shoots now. And it's really great to see my work on other models through a stylist, through a photographer, through an art director, through a collaborator, through a magazine. It's just really incredible, and you can see how many different people touch and see and look at the art. And even though it's not being mass produced at 1,000 pieces of shirt, it's just special in the transit from working with Lisa, coming to me, making the photos, sending it out, printing the shirts, getting it back, receiving the package, packaging them each up, and then sending it to its respective places, Brazil, Italy. It's just really incredible how this works out. And here's the print itself, and it's really great. And I hang this on my wall. This is going to stay on my wall forever. It's just a very special collaboration between us, and I hope to work with her again. I'm working on something new now, but I'm going to keep this forever. Like, this is just one of my favorite collabs of all time. And, shout out to her and everything she's doing. Great artist. Really, really great. I was mainly alone. MF. I worked in the film industry for many years, and during the COVID times, I worked on this project who had this sensationally rude and condescending and all over the place set decorator who expected everybody to just stop at the snap of his fingers. It'd actually be like, everybody get out of the room, and now everybody come in, as if he was like some Oscar-winning Hollywood director. Anyway, this guy put us through hell, but this guy, MF, his name is Michael Folds. Not the guy in the photo. Michael Folds is a good friend of mine, and I call him my rock, because without him, I wouldn't have survived that contract, and it was in a very, very dark time in the world, and through that contract, I was able to just make the right moves, and, you know, be able to continue working on my stuff. So this comes from a hostage situation in North Africa where they captured this man hostage and they were interviewing him, and he just said, I was mainly alone. And that's pretty much all he said. And just the way he's dressed, the shirt and the sunglasses and the look on his face, and then the background, I think I did the background, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I know this shirt went out to Michael Folds because it meant a lot about being alone and just working through things. Even though we weren't taken hostage, it did feel like we had in a certain way. I'm sure this guy went through, you know, a hell 10 times, 100 million times what we went through, but still, just means a lot. Shout out to Michael Folds. Number 5. The number 5 orange is a strip club in Vancouver, and I don't really go to strip clubs much, but when I'm offered, you know, an invite for a birthday party or a bachelor party or whatever kind of party, obviously I go. I take photos of everything. You're not allowed to take photos in a strip club, but I do. And I grabbed this photo of this dancer, and it's just a awesome piece. I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. And I got in a bit of trouble for taking this photo. Obviously, you shouldn't be doing that. But, you know, I censored it out. And I'm not sure where this shirt is. I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. It must have gone somewhere, or I hung it up somewhere. But yeah, a good memory. Brown. This went to a DJ by the name of Funk Bastard. And he's in Singapore. Dean Chu, I believe. And Fat Bastard or Funk Bastard, I can't remember, but James Brown gave an interview once during his peak drug days, and he went on TV and he was just having the time of his life, laughing and singing, and they're like, you know, you're out on bail. He's like, I'm out on love, and it's incredible and it's funny, and he's such a legend. And yeah, this went to Singapore. It's with this DJ. Haven't really connected with him in a long time. I probably messed up his name. But that's where it is, and I'm going to reach out and just ask where that shirt is, because last time we spoke, he said he wears it every day, all the time, and that's what I want to hear. I want to hear people are just wearing it out. This is Sekolah. You're supposed to get it dirty. You're supposed to put holes in it. You're supposed to fall in it. You're supposed to cook in it and eat spaghetti in it and paint in it and make it look exactly like what the content is in the photo. That's the best part. So, Dean Chu, I'm going to reach out to you, and I'll tag you in this, and I hope you still have this, because I thought that was a nice little share, and thank you for the photos you sent back to me wearing the shirt. The 212. This is bitten off Google Maps, and it's New York City, and I was just planning a route, and I came across these phone booths with this man in a trench coat speaking on them, and as you saw, I did the red square, so this probably ended up in the other red square series that I made, but I also made a shirt out of it. Where it is, I don't know. BIT. Why it's called BIT, I don't know, but I took this shirt in Turkey, and it was just this man walking up this hill through this crowd, and he was just walking with such, you know, such a direction in mind. And I just like street photography, and it was raining that day, and he just marched up this street past these people with umbrellas. I just enjoyed the photo. It was a good memory for me, so I made something out of it. Gray. Now, this is Macy Gray. Most people don't know. Most people won't figure it out. Most people haven't been able to figure it out. This is Macy Gray from Training Day. And if you know the movie Training Day, then maybe it's coming slowly to your mind. There's a scene where the two officers show up, Hoyt and Alonzo, Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, show up into the hood and they use a Chinese takeout menu as a warrant, and they step into the house, and while Ethan Hawke, the young rookie, is covering and watching the family, Denzel Washington is in the house, looking for a payday. I hope it didn't spoil the movie, but it's been out for a long time, so you should definitely go and watch it. But he's standing there, Ethan Hawke, covering the family, and he's looking at Macy Gray, and she's just looking at him straight in the face, and she's like, "Y'all stink. You're not even cops. You're a rookie." And it starts to get heated between them, and you could just see like the way her eyes, her eyeshadow, the jewelry on her fingers, the nails, the chains. It's just such a strong moment, and this is moments in time that I personally would like to capture and to hold and to cherish, because it's an inspiration for me. And here's the print, the Gray, Macy Gray, and it's hard and it's amazing, and I can't let this one go either. It's just too strong of an image, and you can see how it all came out exactly the same way, and it's just a screen grab from a great movie, colored in a certain way that I would want it to. Look at the tips of the nails, the whites of the nails, and the fingers and everything, the joints. What a fantastic photo, and one of my all-time favorites. I hang this proudly on my wall. Doesn't go much further than that. The Gray, Macy Gray, incredible artist too, vocalist. Worth checking out the music. So there you have it. The catalog, last page, inside cover with the logo. And here you go, XL Blankk catalog for distribution purposes only. And like I said at the beginning, I don't really sell a lot of these works. Usually they're for collaborative efforts, but I've started slowly warming up to the idea of selling them. It has been over a decade of leaving them places, giving them away, trading, working with models. When I work with models, they usually take the clothes home. I've stopped people in the street to do it. I've hired people to do it. I've gone through every single channel. And you can check the Sekolah store, www.sekolah.com. I'll put pieces up there intermittently. Or you could reach out. You can try and coerce me into making something. I don't take requests. Don't ask me to put something that you find interesting on a shirt. Like, just go out and do it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to inspire you as well to go and create your own stuff. It's not about buying mine. It's about getting more people to just create things that they want to see in this world. So thanks for listening, and cheers. Hope to see you all around.